Good morning, everyone. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the daily reading for all signs. It is a collective reading, so I do speak in broad terms. You have to figure out if and where it fits in your life, if at all. It is not solely, it's originally created for Tuesday the 26th of July. But it's not solely set for that date. If you're seeing it on the date other than the 26th, that's okay. If it still pertains to your life or makes sense, please feel free to utilize it. If it doesn't make sense or it doesn't seem to fit, that's okay. It doesn't mean you're working on anything, that anything's wrong. You might just be working on something different. So don't, let it worry you. Take what you need and leave the rest. For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath any of the daily videos. In there is some housekeeping rules, things I want you to think about with my readings, how to contact me for a private reading or follow me on social media. Also, ways to support the channel are in there. Easy ways to support the channel: hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I do put up daily content, so you'll be notified every time a new video comes up. And you can share the video out or leave me a question or comment. All of those are great ways of supporting the channel. You can subscribe to my Patreon. All of that stuff is great ways to support the channel. So let's see what the card is for today. We have the Fool, which is innocence. What is this? I can't read. My God, I need my glasses. Innocence, wonder, and new beginnings. So the Fool is the beginning of the major arcana journey, right? It's that idea of being open to new beginnings, open to new adventures, open to change, kind of keeping an open heart, an open mind, keeping almost like a childlike wonderment to what's going on. Being, looking for where the new paths might be presenting themselves to you, and then being sort of brave enough to take them, right? The Fool sometimes indicates, that we might get some sort of, in my opinion, some backlash or some outside opinions that say, oh, don't do that, right? And the Fool is like, no, I want to do this, right? And people might think that it's foolish, but it's actually not. It's sort of like listening to our own voice, our own optimism, our own possibility, and then following that rather than sort of maybe what, might be the norm or the safest route or the easiest route. We want to take the route that sort of appeals to us most, that excites us most, that we feel exhilarated by, right? Yesterday we saw that Ace of Wands, which also is on a new beginning card. The Sunday reading is the Nine of Wands, which is about coming to sort of an awareness or a completion, an understanding of, where we've been, what we've learned, how we've been, maybe affected by situations, not necessarily negatively, but, it can be wherever we've been challenged, we might be being shown, assimilating that knowledge and making that knowledge work for us rather than against us, right? And so this Fool to me is about the new beginning of choosing something different, or choosing something more in alignment with kind of play, fun, excitement, where we want to be rather than where we've been at, right? And so with the Nine of Wands underpinning this, and yesterday's Ace of Wands, it feels to me like new doors are opening up. New opportunities should be presenting themselves to us in rather big ways. We might be a little frightened or scared to take the leap or to take the step, but the Fool says do it, right? The Fool is the beginning of the journey. It's the excitement of new prospects. It is the opportunity to kind of experience something new that we didn't otherwise, think we should, or think that it was possible, right? The Fool is filled with possibility. Now, the midweek card is also the World, which is the last card in the Major Arcana deck, so I'm not surprised that I'm seeing the beginning card of the Major Arcana right now. It means to me that the universe or our environment is supporting us in making this shift or taking this change, but we have to be brave enough to come out and go after it, right? This cat here, he looks like he's hiding a little bit, or we might be a little bit fearful, but the curiosity is going to be what kind of keeps us moving forward, hopefully. That optimism, that, dwelling in possibility, is going to be what hopefully moves us forward towards a new goal or a new path, a new way of perceiving things, a new way of seeing ourselves in our lives, and not necessarily finding that support from within rather than from outside sources, is my feeling with this card. Now let's go to the White Light Oracle. So this is the Seraph of 963 Hertz, card number 21. 21 is a 3 numerologically. So that is like sort of, to me, the balancing of the mind, body, spirit connection within, right? And when we look at her, she has all of her, her throat chakras got that little sort of jewel, and so does her third eye and her crown, right? So I think that when we go internally, right, because her eyes are closed and she looks like she's almost in meditation, we can tap into our intuition and our knowing and then communicate that to at least ourselves, at the very least, so that we can move forward. There's also this very much a present moment, even though her eyes are closed and that cat is staring at us straight at us, both of these cards feel very present. Present from within rather than present, taking our cues from external sources. Does that make sense? So listening to our own intuition, our own communication, our own thoughts, and using those to sort of propel us forward is going to be key today. So let me read Seraph of 963 Hertz. Practice connecting to the joy that is always deep within you. Pay attention to what brings you exquisite delight. If you don't know what that is, you are guided to experiment and explore. Connecting to the joyful capacity of your heart will heal so much negativity and uncertainty. Let your heart relax. Allow the spiritual grace that wishes to reorder your life to manifest its miraculous magic. The seraphim are angelic beings of an extremely high vibration. They are angelic mystics in constant devotion and adoration of the divine. When we passionately fall in love with the divine face of luminous grace, whether it be a person who has entered our lives as if they have dropped straight from heaven onto earth, or we feel our heart awakening to new depths of love and meditation with our spirit guides, we are in harmony with the seraphim. When we go through a struggle and are somehow fortunate enough to recognize the protective and healing action of divine grace intervening on our behalf, we can shift to such gratitude we just want to kiss the sky and sing a love song to the universe. Then we are in touch with our own inner seraph. Some egos project their narcissistic wounding and lack of romantic imagination onto spirit, concluding that the divine must be rather vain if it wants swarms of angels flying about constantly singing its praises. They don't understand that the divine asks for our love so we can give of itself to us. When we feel love, when we are in love, our hearts are open and receptive. The divine isn't interested in praise for its own sake, but for what we can receive when our hearts are opened by it. When you have a beautiful experience, fall in love, enjoy the best meal of your life, see a film that awakens your mind, do not want to tell others about it. Our world can seem bleak and a spiritually barren place. We need jubilant mystical hearts who know the secret of esoteric ecstasy and are divinely drunk in their celestial communion. We need to see them happily stumbling about as love-struck fools, startling our intellects with their brilliant ramblings, opening our hearts with their purposeful passions. We need such loving delight with the divine, so we cannot help but want to call forth in wondrous gratitude and declare our love from the rooftops for all to hear and feel. This oracle brings a message straight from the divine to you. Let me love you. The tone of 963 Hertz unlocks a radiant luminosity of your light body. This body of light is the inner essence of your physical structure and yet is not constrained by it. Your light body is your internal interface between the spiritual plane and the physical plane. It is where healing, bliss, and inspiration flow unimpeded. The higher worlds transmit consciousness-raising light codes directly into your body of light, affirming your original soul note and preventing the ego from obscuring your spiritual path, so that you can manifest your most authentic life path. The telepathy of light between spirit and your inner being gives rise to knowing without knowing how you know. This oracle guides you to trust such inner knowledge, even if it doesn't always seem logical. Spirit is guiding you. I love how it says even if it always doesn't seem logical. That would be the Fool card, guys. The universe will provide ample resources to support you doing what you have come to this planet to do. There is no need to turn away from what your heart adores and every reason to embrace it with total trust. Connection with this tone plugs us into the inner intricacies of our ecstatic energy field, where we can partake in the miraculous medicine of love and light and be reminded that we can handle anything that comes our way with grace. Spiritual infusions of light and wisdom, such as those that travel on the 963 Hz frequency, are alchemical. They are able to distill value from any circumstance and transform it. That's the 9 of Wands, guys. This frequency is a cosmic particle accelerator which facilitates graceful return to the loving wisdom and creative resourcefulness of spirit. Seraph of 963 Hz brings a message that the light and whatever it arouses in your heart and alights in your being with passionate gratitude and delicious hunger for more is powerful enough to capture, captivate, and heal you. In doing so, it opens the way to manifestation. Praises to our generous, grateful, loving universe. The healing process. You may like to work with a journal for this exercise. Contemplate and briefly describe several moments when you felt joy, gratitude, vitality, and aliveness. They may be everyday events or a special event or unusual occurrence. As you record your experiences, you might be able to open your heart with gratitude for those experiences. Perhaps you can cultivate a feeling of wonder and appreciation for how marvelous life can be. You might sense your life as precious. When you are ready, say the following aloud. May I connect with my own depth, sincerity, and gratitude for life. May my heart and its depth of love, capacity for awe, and appreciation of mystery be empowered and protected by the light. May I fall in love with the true beauty of my sacred life path. From the universal heart, to the heart of all beings, may spiritual love and blessing flourish. You have completed the healing process. Now let's look to the hidden truth. You let me down. These cards, I have to say, these hidden truth cards feel rather accusatory. I don't know what's going on with this. I feel like this you let me down might be us with that 9 of Wands underpinning this. We might be still kind of taking that inventory, coming to terms with a situation, person, or thing that maybe hasn't served us. Maybe we've let ourselves down in our choices. And we've lost our connection to the excitement and the, childlike wonder that the Fool would represent. This card, the Seraph of 963 Hz, is reminding us to reconnect to that, right? The You Let Me Down isn't necessarily about being negative or dwelling on where we've failed ourselves or where other situations have failed us. I think it's more about acknowledging that, maybe situations haven't always worked out in our favor, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's about us. It's more about them or the situation than it is about us. And I think that the Fool is the opportunity to sort of open our mind and release ourselves from that constant sort of judgment or, those feelings of maybe I don't deserve, right? Because I made a mistake, or because I chose wrong, or because they hurt me. The 9 of Wands teaches us to sort of assimilate that knowledge and that pain into wisdom and become smarter and more aware. We don't have to have these experiences that are negative affect us in vain, so to speak. So the Fool and the Seraph of 963 Hz say open up, let go, acknowledge things for what they were, and then move beyond them. And that is my feeling for the reading today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, share the video out, leave me a question or comment, and I will see you guys tomorrow. It should be a really shifting, wonderful week. Have a great day. Bye-bye.